Hey guys, Taylor the Destructorator here, and welcome to How to Survive Day 1 in 7 Days to Die Alpha 20. This video is meant for those who are brand new to the game, and by all means, I welcome you. This is also for those who are just coming from console, or maybe returning after having taken a hiatus or a break for quite some time. And if you haven't started an Alpha 20 yet, this is an amazing alpha to jump into. Alright, first things first, I want to get into what you should do to survive day 1 without dying at all. But before we get into that, let's go over a couple of things. First things first, I'm going to kind of skim through a lot of subjects. If there's something you would like to know more on, please drop a comment and let me know what type of subject you want me to go over with in more detail, and maybe I'll make a video about it. Also, for those of you who want to maybe skip ahead to a certain topic, I will be putting in bookmarks, so you could just skip to that particular chapter. Alright, first things first, we're going to go over the HUD. If you look in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see a blue and red meter. That is your stamina and health. If you run out of stamina, you won't be able to use a weapon or a hand tool. You also won't be able to run. Obviously, health, if you drop all the way down, you die, which is kind of no big deal. You do get to respawn, and we will go over that more later. If you do die, you will drop everything in your inventory, which is all of this, as well as your tool belt. Speaking of, we'll turn our attention now to the bottom center part of the screen. Those boxes in the middle, those 10 boxes, are your tool belt. There's a green and blue meter underneath that. The green meter is your hunger meter. The blue meter is your thirst. You can die of hunger. You can die of thirst in this game. Also, it is hard to tell, but this little thin meter right up in the top, that is your experience bar. It'll let you know as it fills up how close you are to leveling up. So it's a good thing to keep an eye on from time to time. Up at the very top here, we have our compass. West, north, east, south, typical compass, of course. It also tells you what day and what time it is. Depending on your settings, which everything in this is all default, sunrise is at 4 a.m., so 0400 hours. Sunset is 10 p.m., 2200 hours. So, with that, we are now going to start moving forward with these initial quests. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, that is your quest line area. Anytime you pick up a job from a trader, or you open up a treasure map, it'll automatically put the quest up in the upper right-hand corner for you. Now, as you can see, I am gathering a bunch of grass. We will need more plant fiber than just the 10 that they want you to make the bedroll with here in a little bit. Also, these pieces right here do give you a piece of wood. So it wouldn't hurt to get a couple of those, because we are going to need those here in a minute too. Alright, I'm going to go a little quick here. Feel free to slow down the video. We're going to breeze through these initial quests. After you get your 10 pieces of plant fiber, you need to craft a bedroll. Hit tab to open up your inventory and crafting menu. Click whatever you're going to craft. And either hit W on the keyboard if you're using keyboard and mouse, and craft it. You can scroll through with the middle mouse scroll wheel. You can also push the corresponding number on your keyboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 9 and 0. And there we go. I usually pick the bedroll right back up. Now, this is new to Alpha 20. As you're going through little quests, or the initial quests, this little marker here will guide you what you need to get. Now, it should also be noted, try not to travel too far from your initial spawn area, and that is because once you do, enemy entities such as zombies as well as wolves and bears will begin to spawn in. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more resources before we continue forward. I'm going to go ahead and craft as many arrows as I can craft. Once you've made the bow, and you do have a couple of arrows, it's good to practice with the bow a little bit before you really do press on, especially if you are brand new to the game. Alright, and with that, the initial quests are done. It is pointing us in the direction of the closest trader from our spawn point. We'll keep that up on the HUD for now. You can get rid of it if it bugs you, though. All you have to do is just click on this icon and click Remove Quest. Or you could actually toggle active and get rid of it that way. I recommend keeping it up there, though, especially if you're new to the game. It'll help just guide you to your nearest location. Okay. Another thing is, you unlock 4 skill points on completing these quests. Now, this is kind of a gray area. Putting skill points into stuff is all a matter of preference, and as you play the game more and more, you will decide whatever you would like to put the skill points in. However, if it is your first time playing, I highly recommend following this. Go into the Strength tab, under your skills, Sexual Tyrannosaurus. That helps with stamina when you're using your melee or tools, and it reduces how much stamina is used when you use power attacks. We'll get to that in a bit. I usually put a point in a Miner 69er. This allows us to craft level 2 tools. It also unlocks all iron tool recipes. I always put 1 point into whatever melee weapon I decide I'm going to go with. Since the tutorial had us go through and make a wooden club, I'm going to go ahead and put a point into Pummel Pete. I do plan on making a video specifically about combat, which will go into more details about each melee weapon as well as different ranged weapons in the game, such as guns, bows, all that other good stuff. Now, we have one more point. Personally, I would go Motherlode, but if I don't know, or if I'm not 100% sure, if I'm not going to level up today, on the first day, I'll throw this point into Master Chef. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but if you happen to find a cooking pot on the first day with this, you'll be able to make boiled meat, grilled meat. Well, if you find a cooking pot, you can make boiled meat. If you find a grill, you can make grilled meats, as well as make coffees, teas, all that other good stuff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And with that, I'm going to make my way to the trader, which is just down the road. On the way, go ahead and loot stuff as like trash. I'll take the raw lead and I'll scrap these lead trophies for now. Let's see. We don't need this note, which we spawn in with. Lockpicks will come in handy. Lockpicks will help us pick our way into safes. These boned pieces, gore piles that we find on the road, I go ahead and break them up. When you get 5 bones, you'll be able to make yourself a bone knife, which will come in handy when carving up an animal that you've hunted down. This way you get more meat from it. With that, we have plenty of bones. There we go, we got ourselves a knife. Now, since we did put a point into Miner 69er, let's go ahead and make a level 2 stone axe. We can scrap this old one. We can go ahead and make a shovel. And since we put a point into Pummel Pete, we'll go ahead and make a level 2 club. We can scrap this old one for the piece of wood. Let's continue. It looks like we got a zombie off to our side here, as well as one in front of us. There's a bunny. With the bow at the ready, you'll notice I crouched down. There's another value that popped up above the stamina meter. and that is your stealth meter. It tells you roughly how much, it tells you a combined value of how noticeable you are, both either by sight and sound. But like I said, it is a combined value. You might have missed that. I will go back and re-show that to you. When you're crouched and you hit an enemy before they notice you, or if you hit an animal before they notice you, you will get sneak damage, and that can come in handy quite a bit, especially early game. I recommend checking nests along the way. This way, not only can you get more feathers to make more arrows, you might find an egg or two. Let's see if we can ping this zombie before he notices us. Oh, I missed. That's okay. Missed again. Shooting where he's at instead of where he's going to be. There we go. There's that sweet sneak damage bonus. Oh, took his leg off too. Getting a good amount of experience from killing these zombies. Used up all my arrows trying to get this guy. Come on, we can get him. Alright. Looks like we got some meat for tonight. What I was just doing right there, this is the knife's regular attack, and that's the knife's power attack. When you're crouched, you won't make any sound using your power attack. That can come in handy when you're fighting a zombie. This way you don't alert any other zombies that might be nearby. See, I made a loud sound, but when you're crouched, once I get some stamina back, you don't make that much sound. But if you use a power attack, and then you look down at the animal that you're trying to carve up, that is a fast way to carve them up. Granted, yes, it uses more stamina, but it's a little tip I learned from a friend. Some short iron pipes, okay. That might come in handy. Alright, and we made it to our trader's outpost. Now, once we get close enough to the trader, the little marker will go away. You can go ahead and open up your map, and I highly recommend marking the trader on your map. This way you know where they're at all times. Now, all traders do have workstations that are destroyed. You can go ahead and check them for loot. They also may have like trash as well as other stuff that you can loot inside their compound as well.
Your money is welcome here.
First it is Trader Joel. Ooh, look at that. He's got a scrap helmet for us. How nice. Finders keepers. Alright, and we did get a little bit of coin from that, so we can go ahead and see what all he has. You'll always want to check their inventory, see if there's anything that might catch your eye. Early game, you might be interested in getting arrows, or even maybe ammo, but ammo does get pretty expensive. He's got a little bit of food. As you can see, we don't have much coin. You can sell stuff to the trader. For example, if I don't want this oil, if I wanted to sell him all of them, he'd give us 100 coin for that. Now the trader does also have a second wonderful thing that you could do, which is take a job from them. We'll go ahead and take this Clear Zombies quest because it is the closest thing.
Brilliant.
He wants us to go to the electronics store, which is just over that way. Each trader also has a vending machine. With this, you can get stuff to either drink, eat, or you might even get a candy bar, which has special effects. Like this will help us get 10% better bartering with the trader. This will help us get 20% more resources when we take stuff apart with a wrench or a ratchet. I'll go ahead and buy this coffee. We are getting pretty thirsty, and we are hungry, so I'll go ahead and eat this can of chili. And let's go ahead and drink our coffee. Oh, should cover one more thing. Listen to the sound. That weird ding sound. That means the trader has a protected barrier around it. You can still loot their stuff, but you can't destroy stuff or blocks within a certain area around them. See that one we could destroy? That we could destroy? That we can't. Now, I usually like to make a home that's close to the trader, especially when I first start out, because walking can take a bit of time and a toll on you. There's a chicken. Oh, I never made more arrows. Oh, maybe he'll get to live. Actually, we'll do this blue house next door to the trader. We'll make this our home. Nice, we got the chicken. Not only can we get meat, we'll get a decent amount of feathers from it, which will work out fantastically. You can read books throughout the game. There's different books that do different things. If we read this book, we'll be able to craft shorts, tank tops, t-shirts, hats, all designed to keep us cool. That comes in handy, especially when you're in places like the desert biome. Now, before we actually go into this house, as you can see, our inventory is pretty full. See these darkened out spaces? Once we get stuff that overflows onto these spaces, this is what gives us encumbrance. Each space that fills up extra will add 1 point of encumbrance. The more encumbrance points we have, the slower we will be. So I'm going to go ahead and craft a chest since we did get quite a bit of wood ahead of time. I'm going to place this chest down. We'll come back for this stuff later. And since I plan on living here, I'm going to go ahead and plant the seed. This way we can get more trees growing later on. Alright, let's get into this house. First thing I'm noticing right off the bat is some resources. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, we woke up a zombie. Alright, let's back up a little bit here. These blue blocks are cobblestone blocks. Use the shovel on them, and you'll get 35 pieces of cobblestone from them. This will come in handy here in a little bit. By the end of the day, I will show you how to upgrade blocks. Let's continue on. Now, whenever you're in a POI, feel free to crouch down and go through as slow as possible. This way you don't both alert zombies outside or sleeping zombies that are inside the POI with you. And loot as you go along. Oh, look at that. A better shirt. Cowboy hat, but we're wearing a helmet, which is overall better. It will protect us when we take hits, so we'll go ahead and keep that on. We can scrap it, though. There's a sleeping zombie over there next to that cobblestone. Got some sneak damage on him, but it wasn't enough to kill him. Not sure where he's going. He's supposed to come towards us. Let's see if we can get this headshot. And that was enough to kill that guy. Oh, now the zombie's coming towards us. We can get more of this cobblestone later, especially since I plan on making this our home. Oh, good water. We gotta make our way upstairs. Gotta crouch though, because there are a couple sleeping zombies up here. Killed her. Be sure to check your corners whenever you enter in a new room. Alright, looks like that's all the zombies in here, and looks like there's a cooking pot. Go ahead and pick that up. We got lucky today, so we'll be able to make some boiled meat, or even boil murky water, and make it good boiled water. Some glue, if we're lucky enough. We could find a couple of them and make a pipe gun today. Or some sort of pipe weapon. Let's go ahead and finish clearing this POI. See how the flashlight's pointing towards the hole? And when we first came up, there was a lantern over it at the beginning. The lights will guide your way through most POIs, so be sure to pay attention to them. Alright, I'm not sure where the zombies will be. Okay, we got one right here. Good chance there's one over here in the closet, or this dresser. Like I said, don't be afraid to crouch and just take your time through a POI. Even if you loot only one place in a day, it's still better than looting nothing at all. Another first aid bandage, that's nice. You might have noticed it is kind of dark in here. That's why they do give you a torch. Now, if you do find trash in front of you, a good way to keep sneaking around, break the trash up in front of you. Check your corners. There's a sleeping zombie, and there's another one next to the main loot. We alerted the zombie in this closet here. Go ahead and step out of the room and close the door in their face if you need to take a minute. Oh no, I took a hit. That's okay. That's why they give you first aid bandages. Normally I would wait until I had less health than this, but that's fine. Alright. Let's go ahead and get into this loot. Got some shotgun ammo there. Alright, so learn this trick to remove 20% more arrows and bolts from your target. Bolts are used by crossbows. This is a mod. I'll go more into mods in the combat video. But basically we can use mods. This particular mod do 15% more damage against stone. I'll throw that in the stone axe because that's what I'm going to be mining with early game. You have to break open sealed crates, but once you destroy this cardboard box, that loot is gone forever, so be sure to check it before you destroy it. Alright, so this is new, particularly for Alpha 20. There may be key racks, there may be switches that will open up doors that are locked, but once you open them, if it's a locked door, it will stay locked open. See, this was locked shut before, so is this, but now we can get in and out of here. But I think it also opened up the front door. Yes, it did. Well, if I'm going to make this our home, let's go ahead and destroy this front door. Alright, and we could go ahead and replace it with a door of our own. And there we go. You can also upgrade the door so it has more hit points and protection against the zombies. Go ahead and repair this wall. And actually, with some of the cobblestone we have, we're going to go ahead and upgrade a little bit of this wall. Upgrading walls is a great way to get experience fast. Since we got that skill point, I'm going to go ahead and put a point into strength. Because if you read what it does, deal 210% headshot damage and 10% chance to dismember with shotguns, clubs, sledgehammers, and tools. I'm going to make a chest inside now. Sounds like we got a zombie coming. Don't be afraid of zombies, guys. When you see a bunch of them in one situation, or in one small area, if you can avoid it, awesome. But if not, again, do not be afraid of the zombies. I really don't like the fact that the zombies have an opening to get to us. Since this is going to be our home, we need to seal this up now. We can make a couple of frames, but we're going to need more wood. So let's go ahead and chop down a couple of trees. You know what? That wasn't working out fine, and I know it's in the way. Sometimes you get these little lips that get in the way, and I really don't want to go through and destroy all of them. So what we're going to do instead is just barricade the door. Now, to discourage the zombies from breaking this wood to try to get to us, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it to cobblestone. Because this has 1,500 hit points, whereas wood only has 500. Okay, we can get in and out pretty easily, but the zombies won't be able to, so that will come in handy. As extra security, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of hatches, and I will show you why here in a minute. See the pointed ends on the hatch? That is the hinges of the hatch. I always put that pointed towards the door. And that is because if zombies come to the door, because zombies do run at night, I can flip up this hatch and they won't be able to get to me as easily. Sure, they can hit you through the opening, but I can hit them as well. Be aware, zombies can actually crawl through this opening. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So just be careful. It usually only happens when they start piling up on each other. And then this way we're protected from both entrances. Now, the more you play this game, the more proficient you are going to become at clearing POIs. Normally I would clear this and I would have done that job. I will do jobs in a whole separate video. This way I could break down which job is what. Like this job is to clear the area. You activate the job. You have to stay within the POI's bounds. But you kill all the zombies. That completes the job. You go back to the trader for a reward. I recommend doing jobs, as many jobs as you can at first. Not only to get experience on killing zombies, but once you do 7 jobs, you do get your hands on a bicycle. Since we have cleared this POI, I'm going to go ahead and put down our bedroll. That acts as a respawn point for us. It also marks it on the compass up above. No matter how far away you are, that marker will always be on your compass, so you know how to get your butt home. Land claim blocks. I did a video on land claim blocks versus bedrolls. I'm going to do a new one for Alpha 20 because the one that I did before was back in Alpha 19, even though it hasn't changed. But both will prevent zombie sleeper respawns. What's a sleeper respawn? It's the zombies we just killed inside this POI. It will not stop zombies that roam around from like spawning in our yard, but it keeps the zombies from respawning inside. Let's go ahead and make a campfire. Let's grab our cooking pot that we found today. You throw a few pieces of wood in the fuel, and it will show you what all you can make. Right now we can only do charred meat, and that is because I haven't put the cooking pot in here yet. Sometimes you have to exit and re-enter. I can make bacon and eggs and boiled eggs with the eggs and the water that we have, as well as boiled meat. I can also boil that murky water and make boiled water and red teas, which is a very excellent thing to have early game. Let's go ahead and make a couple of bacon and eggs. And let's go ahead and make a tea. 2 teas. Alright, and that music means it is officially nighttime. Now, the biggest thing to remember is that zombies can run at night as well. More dangerous zombies do spawn in at night, such as feral zombies. They have glowing orange eyes, but they also have more hit points. They're harder to take down. You also have a chance to run into spider zombies. Those guys like to jump around, and they have the creepiest of screams. Let's go ahead and take our teas out, and we could turn off this campfire. Luckily, we got a light on above us. Otherwise, I would have put our torch on the wall so we can see. But congratulations, you have made it through your first day, and you did not die. We are getting pretty hungry, so we'll go ahead and eat. And that is day 1 in a nutshell. Essentially, you spawn, you do your initial quest, find your first trader, find a place to call home. And then if you have time in the day, you could go do that job. Or you could loot other POIs. The choice is yours. But I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope this was very informative. If you did get something of value out of this video, I would appreciate it if you did like it. Again, if there was something in particular you want me to go more in depth in, please leave a comment and let me know, and I will try to see if I can make a video from it. But I do plan on going and making a video on combat, which will go into depth on melee and ranged weapons. I plan on redoing my bedroll and the land claim block video. Sounds like a zombie's fighting something in the background. I do plan on going over jobs, the different types of jobs, tips you could do for doing jobs, as well as the rewards. Every 7 days, there's a Blood Moon Horde. I do plan on going over the first Horde, what you can expect, tips on how to survive your first Horde, as well as tips for mining. But that's all down the road. That will do it for this video. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to more. If you would like to follow me on Facebook, the link is in the description below. If you'd like to subscribe, go ahead and do so, because there will be more tips and tutorials coming up for 7 Days to Die. I also do series in 7 Days to Die where I set myself up with certain rules and whatnot. As you can tell, 7 Days to Die is something I'm very passionate about. I really love this game. I do love all sorts of survival games, and I do plan on bringing more to the channel. But that's another topic for another time. Anyway, guys, I hope you all take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.